What's going on, everyone? TechLift here. Today, your ride or die Xbox user slash fanboy is going to be getting his first ever PlayStation 5 in 2026. Let's go ahead, unbox it, show you guys some gameplay, and give you guys my initial impressions of the thing. And lastly, if I'm going to be making the full switch or going back to Xbox. Well, guys, it is true. The day has finally come. Your ride or die Xbox fanboy has finally gone over to the PlayStation 5 Sony ecosystem, and for good reason. Now, right off the bat, guys, I went with the PlayStation 5 Slim Disc Edition. Now, this is a bundle that came with an extra controller. The Starlight Blue is what they're calling it. So you get two DualSense controllers. Absolutely amazing. And this was a Fortnite bundle. I believe it's the Flowering Chaos. It comes with like a Fortnite skin pack and a bunch of V-Bucks, which I recently just got into, but this was definitely the move. Bang for your buck. I believe everything together was around $4.99. That's the 1TB digital slim console with the disc. On top of that, you're getting an extra DualSense controller, and then obviously all of the Fortnite goodies that you're gonna get. Now, right off the bat, guys, packaging was not impressive whatsoever. I was kind of shocked and disappointed with Sony. Literally, you're getting the power cord, a charger for the DualSense controller, an HDMI cord, which was a nice touch, but seemed very basic. I'm hoping it's high performance. And then obviously the controller itself, classic white, right off the rip, felt absolutely premium and good. And then the console itself with the manual, no one reads those. And then the console in general looks absolutely amazing, looks beautiful. All the lines, the roundness, the contrast. Sony definitely knows what they're doing design-wise. At first I wasn't a big fan, but after seeing people's setups and kind of just doing research, the more and more I kind of bought into it and actually ended up really liking it and getting my hands on it. I actually really like the design of it. Now, setting it up was super easy, plug and play, the power cord. As you guys can tell here, it's a new setup, so be on the lookout for that video, my 2026 updated home living room tech gaming setup. But as you guys can see here, the console looks great next to my 55-inch LG 4K UHD TV with a new little TV console there next to the Xbox Series S. Everything looks nice and sleek, and it just goes. It's kind of modern with a touch of, you know, the classicalness and whatnot. But anyways, you guys are here for the PlayStation, so right off the bat, guys, the design looks nice. My wife wasn't complaining about it. She actually likes it better than the Xbox Series S, which you guys can see there. But Microsoft definitely knows what's up in the design world and technology world. Packaging wise, they definitely don't know what they're doing. It feels like you bought the cheapest gaming console there is, but then again, you're not buying anything for the packaging, you're buying it for the performance and what it's meant to do, which is just basically a gaming powerhouse, you know, machine. And that's exactly what this is. Compared to the Xbox, packaging on the Xbox was a lot better. And once I kind of got to unboxing it and setting this up, I immediately felt the premium feel and premium experience that Sony and PlayStation offer, and that's kind of why they're always a little higher on the price point. And I almost want to say that you should kind of go this route right off the bat now. Believe it or not, guys, I love Microsoft through and through and will always support them and will always have an Xbox, but man, the initial setup of this console was just so easy and seamless, and just the whole look of everything right off the bat, man, like it had me sold, and it had me feeling like I bought something premium. And if anything, it made me feel like the price tag was almost a little cheap compared to, you know, what I was getting. Now, setup was super easy, as you guys can see there. Scan QR codes. I had a previous PlayStation account from when I wasn't too into it and returned it. Those games are still on there, so all I had to do was go straight to the store and download those games again. Now, right off the bat, guys, the whole setup process was super easy and seamless, and the UI was awesome and everything looked awesome. The only thing I had to do was jump in and download some games, even though I wasn't able to play it the first night, which was kind of a bummer, but kind of just getting familiar with everything. Going through the game library was really cool. I immediately went over to the free-to-play games, and since this thing is 1TB, which I am not used to, it made everything super easy. I had options. Now, this is the slim disc version, 1TB, super easy to expand it, and the Pro, I believe, is 2TB. But right off the bat, guys, 1TB should be the minimum for consoles, man. Like, the fact that other consoles don't really do that, it's a shame. But anyways, first impressions and setup, absolutely seamless experience. Now, while I put that bad boy into rest mode, which was super awesome, I went over to Xbox and I played some Battlefield with the homies, and on top of that, I played some Arc Raiders. Now, there is still a time and place for Xbox. I will always have one, and I honestly cycle them now during the gaming time that I have, so this thing's not going anywhere anytime soon. So let's jump into the main reason why anyone would buy this console in the first place, and that is the next-gen graphics. This thing puts out 4K 60 effortlessly and higher frame rates, I believe up to 120 FPS, depending on the performance mode of the system and the TV and whatnot. I really don't care for all that, so I don't mind it. I just want a crisp picture on the TV and screen, and I can tell you guys right off the back, I noticed it. I could just tell that it was looking a little crisper, a little finer. The UI of this thing looked freaking absolutely awesome. Even just like scrolling through the menu options, it looked nice. It looked very immersive, quote unquote, and I absolutely just was happy with the purchase right off the bat, guys. And once I got some games downloaded and was actually able to fire them up for the first time, guys, the picture quality, just the crispness, how sharp it looked, I haven't really been getting that out of this TV, even though it's full 4K, and I was absolutely able to tell the difference. I can tell that this is just a completely different gaming experience. Now, this might be similar to the Xbox Series X, but for someone that doesn't have one or have owned one, the PlayStation 5 just kind of blew me away, and I definitely see where it stands in terms of gaming. If I want beautiful, crisp picture, that's what I'm going to run on this console versus the Xbox Series S, where I will run kind of more multiplayer games that I'm going to be playing with friends online. But right off the bat, man, this thing looks awesome. Now let's talk user interface and games. Now, I don't want to make this into a comparison type of video or section, but I do want to kind of just give you some examples from the Xbox Series S, which is right in front of me there. Right as soon as you boot this thing up, even during the setup process and everything, the menu options, kind of the way you navigate and get to different games, get to different options, feels premium, it feels super immersive, and it just feels high quality and high tech, exactly what consoles nowadays should feel like. Now, comparing it to the Xbox, Microsoft, Series S and X, that feels a lot more clunky. It feels a lot more outdated, and honestly, it just doesn't give you the premium feel. Now, I didn't know that this premium feel existed until I got this PlayStation 5, until I booted it up, and then when I went over to the Xbox, it just felt kind of outdated and clunky and almost just cartoony, kid-like versus the Sony PlayStation 5. It just feels immersive, it feels premium, it feels high-tech, and that was a super refreshing feeling to have, which I hadn't had in, past times. Now, logging into games that I've played on the other console and that sort of thing, super easy login, scan a QR code, log in, and you're good to go. You can chat with your homies or whatever it is, just re-add them, but everything about the whole setup process and just feeling immersed into this ecosystem really had me thinking that I almost want to make this my primary console. But again, it's not going to be my primary console. The picture quality looks so good that I'm going to make this into kind of my single player story mode type of console, where I can get the full benefits of having the 4K, as well as the larger games are going to actually fit on my 1TB hard drive, and then save the Xbox Series S for kind of those more multiplayer games. Still get good graphics, still get good performance, but this is kind of going to be the more primary, just high-tech, immersive gaming type of console. Again, time and place for each, and that's kind of what I'm doing. Now, the controller needs to be talked about, and it needs to have its own section in this video. Guys, I was blown away by how this thing feels. You buy a console for the TV and how it looks, but the thing that you're playing and using to control the game is overlooked at times, and PlayStation right off the bat did not do that one bit. This next-gen console did exactly what next-gen means, and that is taking the phrase next-gen and putting it into a literal sense and making it into a physical reality. This controller is so immersive, and I'm talking about like the vibration, the haptic feedback, the triggers, everything about it feels premium, feels high quality, and the fact that like you can speak into it, that it has a motion sensor and the triggers are quote unquote adaptive. They kind of get a little harder depending on what the scene is in the game. It really makes you feel just connected to the game, and it's almost like a real life feel. And the word next gen, when these new consoles came out, you think you're playing something futuristic, and the fact that Sony did that with the console, the graphics, and then on top of that the controller, that is crazy to me. Now, I will say that the controller doesn't feel as good as the Xbox One. It does get a little tiring at times, but that's not to say that you're not going to use it or that you're going to swap it out. Like, this thing is absolutely premium, absolutely quality, and for games like this that look futuristic, that have good graphics, the thing that's making everything move and make you feel connected to the character should be a priority, and PlayStation absolutely knocked it out of the park. It's going to take your gaming experience to a whole whole new level, and I feel like playing this with family members is also going to be very enjoyable. They're going to be like, what the heck is this technology? It feels crazy to say that I got my first PlayStation in 2026. Now, this console and next-gen gaming experience has been out for a few years now, and the fact that I'm absolutely mind-blown by the PlayStation 5 in 2026 says it all, guys. If someone would have told me that this just came out and it's new technology, I would have believed them. I am a believer now, and I see the PlayStation hype, the PlayStation 5 hype. It's going to take your gaming experience to a whole nother level, and just technology to a whole nother level. I feel like this is going to make gaming so much more enjoyable for just day-to-day people that don't really game often, that kind of just want a game that they can jump into. PlayStation has those titles, a lot of open world, a lot of, story mode, co-op games, and then again, just those fast-paced, free-to-play, multiplayer, shooter games. They're all on this one console, and believe it or not, guys, I feel like this is the best bang for your buck in 2026. You're getting an insane console, insane experience for a price point that's not really going to break the bank. Now, I do know that there are exceptions and people do have lives and budgets and that sort of thing, but if your budget allows, I would definitely say the PlayStation 5 route is going to be your go-to. Now, if you do find a deal on other consoles such as the Xbox Series S, that would be the move, but at MSRP, you can't beat this. The PlayStation 5 has truly shocked me, and I feel like it almost sparked like a new excitement for technology and just gaming in general for me. I've been super into it the last few months, and kind of getting this upgrade for my house, my TV, and pretty much just my family has been pretty cool experience so far. Kind of just being able to nerd out and be excited about some new technology that I've, just recently bought, and I feel like this is going to be here to stay for years to come. You're not going to be outdated. You're not going to be wanting a new console. The fact that I'm mind blown in 2026 by the graphics and just the controller of anything just says everything you need to know, and that should impact your buying decision right there. Again, I've had Xboxes my entire life. I've never owned a PlayStation until now, and I can see why everyone buys PlayStations and has both consoles. Now, don't get me wrong, I play my Xbox every single day, and I always will, but for certain style games, for kind of just the mood and vibe you're in, the PlayStation 5 is going to do the job for more of those cinematic type of games, those story mode type of games, and shoot, even the multiplayer games nowadays with all the crazy graphics that they have. So definitely having both, I can see why it makes sense, but if you had to have one console and you don't really care whether it's Xbox or Sony PlayStation, I would say go the PlayStation route. You're going to have a lot better experience. You're going to have just a more quality premium experience. On top of that, you're going to be able to do everything that the other cheaper quote-unquote consoles do. Now, if you're on a budget, definitely check out my previous videos where I go over the Xbox Series S and why you should buy it, also why you shouldn't buy it. But right off the bat, guys, first ever PlayStation, the setup, the gameplay, initial impressions, the controller, just all the little things kind of added up, and they've made me a believer. And as you guys could see on the channel, I had a previous unboxing, returned that one. I don't think this one's going to be going anywhere. I think this one's here to stay for sure this time, just because of how much I've been enjoying it. But that's not to say that I haven't been enjoying my Xbox Series S. I'm definitely going to be a two console type of gamer now, so expect more videos to come on this, as well as the Xbox Series S. So if you guys like the video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, guys. I will catch you guys in the next one. TechLift out.